So Gippsland's a really confusing story. It's huge. It's as if they got to Melbourne and said, we'll just call the rest of that Gippsland.
It's a great place to make great wine, and no one really knows that yet.
I always think it's hilarious when the weather report talks about the weather in Gippsland. It's like generalising about the weather in Spain.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Justin.
And we're Fleet Wines.
People are interested in wine that comes from Gippsland. It's not novelty anymore.
South Gippsland is great because it is cold. It rains, it's future-proofed. We're growing Pinot and Chardonnay now. If shit hits the fan and it gets too hot, we can grow Shiraz.
You've got to be able to plant the right grapes in the right area to produce the best wines you can, sort of thing.
Of all the parts of Gippsland, South Gippsland's the coldest. So we're going to get that slightly more sort of delicate, earthy style of Pinot that also has a really kind of rich mid-palate and big core of fruit as well around that. So lots of layers of complexity.
Really high-tone, beautiful red fruits, not heavy hitters. They're delicate wines. And, we sort of see that as a translation from these red dirts.
I think it's quite distinctive when we're tasting, Pinot Noir from this area. You can say, you know what, don't get me wrong, it really does taste like a Gippsland Pinot.
The cooler the climate, the more of those layers you get inside the wine, because that cooler climate that we've got, we tend to get a bit more of that than perhaps some of the other sub-regions in Gippsland.
And I think Pinot is one of those varieties that really is a great transmitter of where it has been grown.
The style of Pinot, I think, is evolving. There's a few other producers around here, like Justin, that is starting to pick a little bit earlier and starting to work on sort of line intention and subtlety.
And it's still very much up to interpretation of the grape, ambition on style, and function of sight.
It's a very good answer.
Those 3 points of the triangle are where we get what's in the middle.
You know what, we can actually grow grapes down here, grow them really well and actually produce some cracking wines at the same time. You sort of walk through the paddocks the other day and you think, oh, they're drinking our wines in Japan, you've just got an order, and you think, that's so cool.
My name's Rob Lightfoot, this is my brother Tom Lightfoot, and we're here in sunny East Gippsland at Lightfoot & Sons Myrtle Point Vineyard.
Yeah, it's a pretty unique piece of land, really, quite extraordinary. So it's a piece of Terra Rossa over limestone, which is not unheard of in the wine industry. Cool climate, Terra Rossa over limestone is very rare. It's that Pinot character you can't quite put your finger on, but it's a real earthy, mushroomy, more savoury, structured kind of Pinot.
Like, there's a couple of people we supply our Pinot Noir fruit to, and you can taste them all together at the end, and you can still see that lineage is really clear between those wines. Even when, sometimes the treatment's quite different in the vineyard. Primary elements of the fruit that's grown here, it really shines through in those wines, and it's really interesting to see it.
I'm Neil Prentice. We're at Moondara in Gippsland, in Gunai-Kurnai country, and we're sort of due to our location. So we're in the shadow of Mount Baw Baw, on beautiful, rich red soils.
My name's Patrick Sullivan. We are in Allenbank, which is in the Baw Baw Shire. And up where we are, we have super cold nights from the air flying off the hills. So it's cold and humid a lot of the time, which is perfect for growing aromatic varietals such as Pinot Noir.
I jokingly say sometimes that we have to prune the fence posts here because the soils are so fertile.
For what we do, that's what makes it really special. The grass is always green. We don't dry out. We've got volcanic soil, so there's not a lot of clay in the soil either. It drains, but everything always feels nourished, everything always feels crisp and alive. If you look at the wines that come from around here, they're generally lighter and really aromatic.
So I describe all of our wines, but especially our Pinot, as Pinot with funkosity. The winemaking has evolved to show our own personal style. There's lots of whole bunch. It's mainly foot plunged by people svelter and prettier than me.
From an agricultural perspective, it's pretty exciting because you can come here and say, well, this is how I want to do it. No one's going to come here unless you're willing to put in the work. It's fucking hard. We have 12 months of grass growth all year round. but we think that what we can get from here is going to equal or better anything else.